Hi there, my name is Maria, and now we're going to have a look at the multiple choice task in the listening paper. In this type of task, you will have three possible options, A, B, or C, and you will have to choose only one option. Remember that answers with more than one option will consider to be incorrect. Before you listen, try to look at the first line of each item, each question or sentence, okay, and decide what kind of information do we need. Okay, try to think if you need some general information, some specific information, and this is the time to underline the keywords in each item that are going to help you focus on the information you need. Okay, this is something which is very important to do before you listen to the recording. This is an example of a listening task, a multiple choice task, okay? So you have here, listen to an interview with Petra Torrens, a school zookeeper, okay? Choose the best answer, A, B, or C, which fits the question. The first one has been done for you as an example, and write your answers on the answer sheet provided. Great. So you have an example of some keywords that I have underlined for you to have an example, okay, on how to underline keywords. For example, in 0, schools is going to be a keyword. According to the speaker, many schools have a zoo, have places to play football, okay, or teach biology. Biology is going to be a keyword. Question number 1. The speaker has recently changed her job, so recently is going to be a keyword for you to have into account. Used to look after animals, used to. Whenever you see used to, it refers to the past. And has always wanted to be a zookeeper, okay? Something she has always wanted to do. Listen, once the recording goes, so we have underlined the keywords, we have read the instructions, okay? So now, when the recording begins, we need to listen for expressions with similar or opposite meanings, okay, to the keywords you have underlined. Remember, you are not likely to hear exactly the same words you have on the exam paper. So try to listen for similar expressions, okay, similar words. Choose the answer while you're listening to the recording. Don't wait until the end. Why? Because if you wait until the end, probably you will have forgotten, okay, what the speaker said, or you will have forgotten different parts of the talk, okay? So it's better to try to get an answer at the same time you are listening to the recording. And the questions in this type of task are always in order. In the same order, the information is delivered, okay, in the recording. So pay attention to some signposting language. Typical expressions, okay, that indicate in which part of the task the speaker is in at the moment, okay, whether they move on to the next item, whether they move on to the next question is going to help you, okay, identify where exactly you are. And then finally, check all your answers on the second listening, okay, the second time you listen to the recording. This is the best time to check your answers are the answers you consider to be correct and time to make any necessary changes that you would like to make, right? So here, for example, we have exactly the same task I showed you before. And we're going to listen to the first part, okay, to the beginning of the recording, only the first bit of the recording, and we're going to try to guess the correct answer for each question. Are you ready? So I'm going to play the recording now.
It is unlikely that anyone looking at a school would question why there's a mathematics department, or a dining hall, or a string of football pitches. Schools tend to have such things. It might not be so immediately obvious, however, why there is a small zoo within the school grounds. So today we have Petra Torrens, science teacher and zookeeper at St Bede School, to tell us about her work there. Welcome, Petra.
Oh, thank you, Jane. Thank you.
Petra, can you tell our listeners about how you came to be a zoo teacher?
I came to work at the school as a science teacher in 2007. Before training as a teacher, I'd spent a decade working as a zookeeper at a variety of British collections, working with elephants and lots of primates. As soon as I joined the school, I was encouraged to develop a small collection of animals in my lab, and I must say that little encouragement was required. We got a snake or two, some frogs, a very nice blue-tongued skink, and so the idea of doing this properly began to germinate. It really started to expand in 2009, though, when we migrated across the school campus to the current location. There we have a classroom, an animal kitchen, and 2 animal rooms.
Right, so have you guessed the answers to these questions? Okay, we're going to have a look. 0 is easy because this is the example they normally give you, and you can see the answer in italics, right? So the correct answer for 0 would be have places to play football. This information is given in the introduction by the presenter, right? So what is the answer for question 1? Have you guessed it? Good. The answer for question 1 would be used to look after animals. Why? Because in the recording we hear she worked for a decade, okay, in different zoos or as a zookeeper in the past. If she worked for a decade as a zookeeper in the past, this is something that happened in the past, okay? It was a job, okay, her job in the past. She has recently changed her jobs. Wouldn't be possible. Why? Because she changed jobs in 2017, which is not exactly recently. And then regarding option C, she doesn't mention, okay, she has always wanted to be a zookeeper, or that was one of her childhood dreams or anything like that. So option C would not be possible in this case. Right, so what do we need to remember in this type? What things we need to remember to do in this type of task? It's important to read the questions before you listen to the recording. This is going to help you try to predict the content and focus on the keywords, okay, the specific information you need in order to answer that question. You're going to listen to it twice, okay? So don't worry if you miss a question. The questions are going to be in the same order, okay? They are always in order, in the same order you hear the information from the recording. Important to look for, try to hear, okay, the signposting language. Don't let a question you miss ruin your performance on the whole task, okay? Move on to the next one, and finally, don't forget to transfer your answers to the answer sheet at the end of the whole test. That means at the end of the 3 parts. So thank you very much for listening. I hope these tips were useful to you and helped you do better in this part of the test. Thanks for listening.